Verity, congratulations. Tell me all about the competition and your winning speech. What was it about?
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to have brought this trophy back to South Africa. And my speech was about my personal journey of life not quite turning out the way I wanted, resisting that, and then discovering a letter that my dad wrote me when I was 24, telling me to change my attitude. And this was when I was 40 that I finally took the advice. And just how by writing a different story, looking at my circumstances differently, I was able to turn my life around at 40. And it's a speech that I hope gives hope to many people.
Tell me how the competition worked. Was it done virtually, or were you able to travel and do it in person?
It was completely virtual this year, which as a new mother made it much easier for me. But we started at club level, over 30,000 people entered the contest, and it came down to 128 semi-finalists, 28 semi-finalists, apologies. And I was lucky enough to make the 8 finalists and come back as the 6th woman in history and the first African to ever win it.
That's absolutely marvelous. Talk to me about how many other countries participated. Was the competition pretty stiff?
It really was. There's 149 countries. There's over 16,500 clubs. So you've got everyone vying for this opportunity to win this title. And by the time you get to the semi-finals, the quality of speaking is incredible. In fact, I could never call whether I was going to place or not because I thought everyone was fantastic. So it was just an amazing surprise and delight to get all the way to the top.
Have you always been a great speaker right from a young age?
No. I was the girl who would bunk school if I had to read the Bible in assembly. I was terrified of speaking, but I started songwriting when I was at university, and I realized I had to overcome my fear if I wanted to share my message with the world. I started with song, it moved into speaking, and when I joined Toastmasters, it gave me another platform to share my messages.
And you know, that's such an interesting point you make, that you had to overcome a fear, because fear of speaking in public is a real thing. I mean, I don't identify with it, which is probably why I'm in the job that I am, but it is a very real phobia that a lot of people have. So what are your top tips for someone who's truly terrified of speaking in public?
Well, the easy tip is to look for a Toastmasters club near you, because it is an environment that is safe. Everyone wants you to win. Everyone wants you to build your confidence. And that's the only way to build confidence, is to stand up and speak in front of people. But you need to do it somewhere where you're safe. And Toastmasters provides the environment where people can almost fail forward, but it's not happening at work, which is where we really don't want to bomb out as speakers. So that has been where I've seen people completely transform their personal and professional lives.
And the online element of this, do you think that made it harder for you? I know that you said it was easier because you've got a young baby, but in terms of the presentation aspect of it, do you think it's harder online or easier? And I ask that question bearing in mind that so many of us are having to have business meetings or do presentations online these days.
It's very different, Sally. Obviously, when you're live, you've got an audience that you're working off, which for some people is what terrifies them. But in the online space, it becomes a bit more of an art, and you're using the screen, you're using this tiny little bit of space, and you get a chance to make it a bit more dynamic. So I liked it as a challenge, and it was different. Definitely not the same as speaking to a live audience, but we need to get good at this now. We need to know how to connect past the camera to the people on the other side sitting next to a laptop and make them feel like we've spoken to them. So it's really a skill that I'm glad that I've gotten to work on this year.
Well, congratulations. I think it's absolutely marvellous. And thank you for chatting to us this evening. Winner of the Toastmasters 2021 World Championship in Public Speaking, Verity Price, who hails from Cape Town.